people, so let's get to it. So this is going to be mainly for this process is going to be the same process in just about any of your RTR type controllers. You know, they're just going to be different in the way they come apart, but the actual mechanisms themselves and how they operate, being spring loaded, are going to be the same. So we're going to do it on this. This is a DX4C, but it's going to Spectrum, but it's going to apply to just about any of the Spectrum radios. Same type of deal. So let's get started on it, and we're going to try and do this kind of one-handed for a minute, and I'm going to show y'all the basics. I've already taken some of the screws out on it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in a bit. If I can. There we go. Okay. So you're going to need, first thing you're going to want to do is remove the screws out of these screw holes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on, turn back on. 5, 6 that you can see. But what you need to do is you need to pull the DX4C sticker off. Both of them. You've got one here and one here. And the way I do that, if you just take your time and do it the right way, nice and slow, is use an X-Acto and peel them off. This one I have replaced the spring already once. That's why you see some glue. But if you peel them off nicely, then you can actually just glue them back on. Use a little bit of your tire glue, a little bit on there, they'll go back on perfect. So the rest of your screws are going to be under those stickers. Now to get to the other screws, there's a couple of more. You need to pull the rubber hand grips off. They just pop right out, just like that. Okay. Same thing here. They just pop right out. Sometimes you got to use a little something to get it started. Just like so. And just pull it off. They come right off. Okay. So I've already removed the springs on these. I mean the screws out of all of them. So we're just going to take it apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you guys right here, and we're just going to get it done. So hopefully y'all can see okay. Put y'all here just like this. Let me back out of the zoom for a second. That's better anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take it apart nice and easy. So this battery compartment will fall out once you start taking it apart. But don't worry, just don't pull on it very tight, and as well as your antenna here. So basically just work it apart like that, and the whole thing will just come off just like that. Okay, so this is what you're going to see right here when you take your two pieces off. Hold on to your screws, don't lose your screws. So this compartment will come out as well. It's just sitting in there. Okay, sits in the grooves just like that. It's hard to do this one-handed, people. All right, so what we're going to do from this point is I'm going to prop it up here, and your antenna as well just sits in a little groove right here. So I pull that antenna off and I set it to the back just like that. Okay, now I've already removed one of these screws because it's kind of hard to get to, but let's see if we can zoom back in real quick, and I can show you where these screws are. Okay, so if you can see, you've got one right here. Okay, and then you've got one right here. There's three. One, this one's kind of hidden behind the wires, and then the other one is in between here. Okay, it's 3 screws. So we're just going to remove all 3 of those screws. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing before we go farther, okay? We're going to flip this over, okay, just like that. Be very careful with it. And I've already undone the screw on this, but you've got, take your wheel off. I forgot to tell you, you want to take your wheel off first. Okay, there's a screw in there. You undo that screw, and your wheel just pops right off once the screw is completely undone. Just like so. Bam, wheels off. Okay, flip it back over, just like so. Okay, and then let's finish taking these 3 screws out. Do this with one hand. Try to use a magnetic tip driver. Just like so. Okay. Let's get the other one. Okay. Okay, it's alright. It'll come out when we pull this out. Okay. So, now what you want to do is just pull this whole assembly out. But before you do that, look. Right here. See that spring? Right there? Looks like a little spring from an exhaust manifold. That's your throttle and brake spring. So if you ever break one of those, you don't have to take the rest of this off. You can get to that one right there. So there's no need to undo any wires or anything like that. Just go ahead and pull this whole bad boy out. Just like so. Flip it over. Right there. I mean, you can take the wires off, but I wouldn't suggest doing it. So let's just prop that right there for a second. And then if you can see, there's another spring right there. Right here. Okay, so what happens is a lot of time that spring breaks or it pops off. You just need to find another spring. And I'll tell you, the Dynamite exhaust manifold springs fit perfect. That's actually what I used to fix this one right here. That's what that is. That is a exhaust manifold spring from the Dynamite set, which would be this set right here. Oops. Which would be this set. So if you could use an exhaust spring from the Dynamite set, because they're tighter, they're a little smaller, so they fit right in there. So this one's already been repaired. This is just to show you guys, you know, how to do it. There it is right there. So if you want your wheel to be spring loaded again, you need to take it apart just like I showed you here and replace that spring right there. Easy cheesy. Now if this is broken for any reason, and it just connects right there, if this is broken for any reason, then you may have to do something else. But you know, you may have to order the proper part. But 9 times out of 10, when you have no action in your wheel and it won't spring back to the neutral position, this is the reason. This spring broke or it fell off. So all you got to do is replace it. There's like a little hook right here that hooks onto and then goes through the hole here. So, and the same thing to put it back together, guys. Just go ahead and put it back in. There's no reason to move anything else around, take anything else out. That's all you got to do. Get that back in the hole, just like so. In the hole. Alright, let me put this down for a minute so I can work. It's hard to do this with one hand. There we go. Just go ahead and get this back in. No worries. What you can do is just take this out. This whole assembly comes out. And then get it back in there. Alright, come on. There we go. That's what gives you your spring load action right there. And there is a ball bearing in this too, right here. So just slide it back in, just like so. No need to do anything else other than put your screws back in. Make sure y'all can see okay. Just get your screws right back in. No problem. Oh no, unless you drop the screw. Tip it over. There we go. Okay. And then we just put it back together, guys. No worries. Just like so. Don't over tighten them. They're just a little hard to get to, a couple of them, but once you get them in the hole and get them going, they're fine. Okay, just like that. And then put your battery tray back in. You can see it's just a couple of grooves right here. I don't know if you can see that right there. And then over here, and just slide her back down in there. It's backwards. There we go, just like that. And then you can see right here where your antenna goes this way. There's a little hole right there that it slides into. See the little tab? It just goes right in there like so. Just like that. So everything's working properly. Okay. And just take this, put it back over. Make sure none of your wires, like your antenna wire and everything, make sure it's not sticking there. Just get it down in there like that. And then put your cover on. Just like so. Just slide right back over. Make sure, I didn't get this. Make sure that your battery tray goes in the slots, just like that. Alright guys, so you're going to install all your screws back. You're going to flip it over. You're going to put your wheel. Your wheel's going to go a certain way. See that little lip right there? And then you have this lip here, so they're going to be adjacent each other. Just get your wheel on. Put your screw back in. Just like so. Remember, don't over tighten it. Put your cap back on. Like so. Just pops right in. Then put all your screws back on, guys, in each hole. And then glue your stickers back on. They'll glue really fast. So And that's how you do it, guys. That's how you replace the spring on your Spectrum DX series radios. And the process is probably the same for just about any other radio out there. So, and there you go, guys. That's how you replace the spring. Just don't forget to put all your screws back in, and you're good to go. Alright, so once you have everything back together and all your screws in, put your handles, grips back on, and they're easy. They go back on very easy. See those tabs right there? And then see the slots right there? They just slide right in the slots, just like that. Bam, they just slide right in, nice and easy. Then you flip it over, do the same thing on this side. Just push the tabs in. Goes in really easy too, guys. No worries on that. They're meant to be interchangeable. I actually think that when you buy one of these radios brand new, it actually comes with different size grips. And same thing with the front one here. So there you have it, guys. All right. We'll see you guys in the next video. If anybody has any questions about this, just go ahead and comment down below and I'll be glad to help you out. Alright guys, we'll see y'all.